They say he can't, but he can. They say he won't, but he will. He's more than what he has been through. His heart is strong, he will break through. He is able. He is able. He is able.
Okay. What's up, everybody? We are back live and direct in the house. Look, as you guys jump in tonight, just go ahead and feel free to share this podcast with somebody. We're on YouTube as well as Facebook up in tonight. So I'm going. Hope you guys are ready for this conversation tonight. I know some people probably said, "Man, I did not see where there was any type of indication of what the topic was going to be about." Now, I know the ladies are probably already thinking to themselves, what are these guys up to? They're probably sneaking something in so that we couldn't get a chance to get ready for it. Well, you're absolutely right. Okay, so first of all, tonight's topic tonight is how important is it for a man to have a woman in his life? And there's a second part of that question. The second part of the question is, and if he does have a woman in his life, what does she add to his life, if anything? Okay, so we're gonna jump right into that. But first, let me just go ahead and welcome my guys on tonight.
Hey,
Brother Cameron Keynes and my boy Rashard Brown is online tonight. So Cameron Keynes, give a big what's up to everybody if you would.
hey, how y'all doing tonight? Let's get this show rolling, and I hope that everything stay positive. No, no. Yeah. Now, anyway, we could throw punches, but it's all good. It's all good. We're gonna have fun, all in the name of the Lord. All right.
Okay, all right. And Rashard Brown, what's up, brother?
All right. How y'all doing out there? Let's get it on.
Let's get it on. Let's get it on. So here we go. As always, before we get started, we like to start off with a little bit of advertisement. We got a couple of things coming up. One of the things is the faith and mental health tour that we're going to be here in Orlando, Florida. And that's going to be coming up on the 22nd of May. So let's just look at the slide right quick. Hey guys, this is something that you don't want to miss. Our first faith and mental health tour is stopping in Orlando, Florida on May 22nd at 5 p.m. A Chili's Art Cafe located at 2295 South Hiawassee Road, Unit 100. I'd look to see you there. Now let's get back to our show. If you guys are in the area, if you're in Orlando area, don't want to miss that. Trust me, it's going to be a good, I think it's going to be groundbreaking, but at the same time, a very eye-opening event that we're going to have surrounding mental health and faith. But for tonight, fellas, let's get to talking. Which one of you guys would like to expound on this topic a little bit tonight? Is it important for you to have a woman in your life? And if so, what does she add to your life, if anything? Who's gonna jump on that first? Wild card, Cameron Keynes. I'm leaving it on you. I'm just throwing a wild card.
Yeah,
You look like you had something to say, brother. I have to say that.
I do.
Yeah.
But
Okay. All right.
just trying to figure out how to ease in here a little bit, but
Okay.
there was a dead man this week.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and then a lot of women were throwing a whole lot of thorns at him, and he's dead.
Okay.
And
Okay.
but wow. I just get a shout out to Kevin Samuel family, man. It's sad. It's sad. We get on here and we talk about things from our heart, experience, and and not trying to bash women or anything. We just talking about life, and then there are these women out here who just and men too. Had some men throwing dags too at the guy. But yeah, so the Lord, that God, created Adam. He created Adam. He created Adam. Then he created Eve. So I guess it was important why he put a woman in this world, so that way we could enjoy ourselves and so forth. But Richard, I'm gonna turn it over to you because I got a lot to say, man. I'm just trying to let me get my notes together over here, right here.
Oh, bro, you sound like you skated around that question all the way around that question right there. So we're gonna let you get those notes together right quick while I talk to my brother Rashard. Talk to me, Rashard.
Okay. I'm going to say that it is important to have a woman in your life, but not any woman.
Oh,
I like that.
You got to be real selective about, the woman that you have in your life. It ain't just about having a female. I mean, I know some guys that they have to be in a relationship with a woman. And a lot of times they just choose the first thing come their way just for the sake of being with a woman because they don't want to be alone.
Okay.
And that woman should add value to your life, and you should be able to add value to hers. It should be one of those type of situations where it's built on love and trust and not sex and lust. It's a whole lot there, man. But to have as a man, my mom used to tell me all the time it's not good for me to be alone. And I understand what she was saying by that, because a woman could add a lot of this little thing called woman's intuition. And it helps a man a lot because as men, our thing is it's an innate thing about us to have friendships and relationships and try to help other people and try to fix other people. But it's something about a woman's intuition. She can look at those people and say right off, really, something about him I don't like. But I spending no time with them. But as guys, we don't see it. And they have to turn on us for us to see it. But women, I'm going to say like 99% of the people who my wife used to tell me was no good for me, and they just around me to use me, and they're here for this and they're for that. Even though I would hate to admit it with my pride, but she would always be right. So that woman's intuition is good for a man, and we need that love. We need somebody to be a cheerleader for somebody to root us on, somebody to that care about us. And that's where it's at. But I think, as Mike Tyson said, one of the biggest mistakes that men do make is that we will expect the woman we with to give us the same love that our mother gave us. And that's unconditional love. And that does not happen. So we have to be careful as men and understand that we're not looking for a mother to give us unconditional love, no matter what mistakes we make, no matter what we do, that love is going to be unconditional. I think that what messes up a lot of guys. When they get into relationships, they're expecting to have that same love that their mother gives them. And it's not true. So that's enough said for me.
Okay, so you're saying that you do believe that it is important for you to have a woman in your life. Okay, so I want us to just kind of emphasize for a moment on our bachelors, because I know I got a lot of fellas. We've all been bachelors at some point, and we've lived our life, as bachelors. So with that being said, how often have when you think about how often we've heard guys say, even now, that they enjoy their life as a bachelor, they enjoy living without having a committed relationship with a woman. When we talk about that, then what advice would you? I mean, looking at the young you,
Boy,
advice
you just said a mouthful there.
yeah.
And this is how I feel. And I know this to be a fact. At this age in the game, for men our age, all the good women gone. They gone.
Okay.
You know, if
Okay.
you everything left out here is, you know, no man wants no chick that's on Instagram twerking and all that stuff. There, you don't want all that there, man. In this age, this stage in the game, bruh, I mean, there is very few of them that's that's left out there. So being a bachelor ain't what it's cracked up to be no more. Not back
Right.
when we were younger. Not in this new age right here. I mean, if that's what you're looking for, but that's not what a real
So
man would be
what do we?
in
So
the
what is
game.
that bachelor? What do you tell that bachelor? What is that? What should that bachelor be looking for? What should he be looking for at this point in his life that is going to add some form of quality to his life? What should he be looking for? Because it's funny because I just had this conversation with my son the other night, and we were talking, and I got an opportunity to tell him about what the reason why his mother was the one I chose to be with. And my reason was the same reason, was basically what he said right now is the reason why he's dating the young lady that he's dating. Basically, and that is that we look for common belief, the foundational beliefs that we have spiritually, because we know that with that, there's only certain amount of limits that a person is gonna go to, even when angry. There's only a certain amount of limits that person is gonna go to. So, what would you tell a young man, even if he doesn't have a certain belief base? What do you tell a young man that's a bachelor the worth of having a woman in his life?
I would tell him to make sure he have his finances together, because women look for security, and just make sure that when it
No,
comes
wait.
around to,
What would he look for in that woman? I'm asking about the woman at this point. What would he look for? Yeah, I want to know what are we telling him right now about looking? What is
yeah.
he looking for in a woman? That's the question I'm asking at this point.
Wow. Wow. I will hope that somehow within, her spirit that he can see that he can trust her, by listening to the way she uh speak about different things, check her background out, and just make sure that she's someone that kind, trustworthy, date for a while, not just jump into to bed and stuff like that, because that'll kill it right off the top. Make there's certain things that women do that men could do too to see if she's a protector, like I said. you know um wow, it's really really hard if you're not as mature and experienced as a young man to look for certain things. It's really really hard, so that's why I'm struggling, because I'm thinking back of
Okay.
myself. It's hard.
Struggling. I'm gonna get on the game. I'm gonna help him out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
Somebody, find somebody that likes you for you, not about what you have, cause money come, money go. Not somebody that like you
Yeah.
cause you cute, cause looks come and looks could go.
Looks will go.
So you got to find someone who's genuinely interested in you as a person, about your well-being, somebody that's gonna care for you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Slow
Yeah.
is always better than fast when you're trying to, get to know somebody and in a relationship. And like my dad used to always tell me, where you find them at, that's most likely where you're gonna lose them at.
Yeah.
You better in the nightclub, you're probably gonna lose in the nightclub. You know,
Hmm.
so just be careful. And it's like I feel that if you meet somebody that's in the club, you know, at this stage in the game. I mean, if you young, if you in your early 20s or something, hey, that's good. But you 40, pushing on 50, and you meet a girl in the club, man. Come on, man.
Well, what
Come on.
about the young men? What about those young men? So because the name of the game is like we learn a lot through error, right?
Yeah, it's
And
gonna be.
through time. Um, but truth be told, like what how do we give them a shortcut? Like how do we give them that game that we've learned now that allows them to have a shortcut to not waste as much time and find someone worth having? Because I know everybody that I dealt with when I was younger wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? Um, Everybody that I dealt with wasn't necessarily bad. Some of those situations I didn't respect. You know what I mean? The situations, or relationships or whatever, connections and whatnot. So how do you stop them from messing up some good situations? You know what I'm saying? What are they looking for? I think you, Rashad, you said some things earlier,
No,
about what a woman can add as far as what
yeah.
we've learned now with wisdom. We know how to listen. You know what I'm saying? And we know how to communicate to be able to glean from what they can give us. You know what I'm saying? What they can add to the picture. So the question, I guess my biggest question now is for that young man, how do we give him that? What type of game do we give him that he's able to like cut a lot of these corners so he's not wasting his time or messing up situations that could be great for
Bro, I'm gonna give you some advice that I gave my son, and I told him that we all imperfect creatures.
him?
So any woman that you're gonna meet, or if you're a girl and a guy you're gonna meet, it's gonna be something about them that's not perfect, something that's different. And I told him, man, if you could love that person and put up and could put up with the worst of them, and they could put up with the worst of you, and y'all could build together, then that might be the person who you should be with. But here's the problem with most people. When you get in a relationship, it's something about that person you can't stand so much that it bothers you so much that you want to fix them, you want to change them, you want to constantly work on that thing right there, then that's probably not the person for you.
Right, right, right. I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that because a great deal of what we have to understand, I believe, more than anything, is that we don't get with people to create. It's like this isn't like like you used to have that toy back in the day, Mr. Potato Head. Uh,
Yes.
and you could take off arms, put on other arms, eyes, change,
Yep.
interchange everything. That's not the purpose of relationships. To get together and create a person out of, you found the base of what you want, and then you just take apart pieces that you don't want and try to add pieces. I think you should respect. It should be some type of a respect coming in where you see what that person has and you respect what God has blessed them, the characteristics that they are blessed with. And if they have the attributes that you see that could add to your life in a positive way and not take away from you or cause you a great deal of stress or problems, I feel like then that's someone that possibly or someone that you could look to build with. Now me answering the question myself, I believe that I absolutely benefit from having a woman in my life. You know what I mean? And there was a point in time when I did not think that way. There was a point in time when I thought that being a bachelor was the best thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I really did not want. I didn't want any big things of like not answering to a person, not all of these different things, that the horror stories that the guys tell each other about marriage and about being with somebody, the horror stories that they like to tell in the circles and stuff, like ball and chain, the old thoughts and added picture that they would paint. I believe that when it came to that, man, I feel like we a lot of times run away from because of a few bad apples or a few bad examples. You know what I'm saying? That we run away from one of the best things that you could possibly have in your life, and that's a companion that is there that can actually add quality versus take away from you. Cameron, did you have something you'd like to say?
Yeah, hallelujah.
I said hallelujah.
Yeah, there was a time I was a little older at the time. I dated this lady, and she asked me if I wanted to go to this jazz concert in the Winter Park area. So I ended up going, but I had looked at her. I used to work for a law firm some years before, and she used to work for like FedEx. And I remember I had my eye on her for a long time. It wasn't until like maybe 7, 8 years later, her and I ran into each other, and we ended up going out. And I enjoyed the jazz concert that day, but then we decided to go somewhere to eat, and we sat down. And the end of the night, I decided I'm gonna pay, and she was like, no, like just change, man. Like, I mean, I was like, what? I didn't say anything within, while we're eating, anything wrong, anything that I thought of, and man, right then in my mind, I was like, nah, I'm ready to get out of here. I don't want to deal with this lady. She's not somebody I want to pursue. Although for years I was like, wow, I would have liked to, but right then I just cut it out, man. So signs like that, you got to look for. Now, my position where I'm at now, as far as being married and so forth, back then when I was a bachelor, had my own place, it had certain points where you got lonely, and you think about these things like, what if I you felt used with these women, you and after a while it's like, you just wish you could just settle down with someone. And I'm loving the place I'm in, I have a family, have kids and so forth. But it is hard for, like Rashad said earlier, these days is really hard. Like the real good ones are gone because they look for different things these days. These millennia, thank God we're out of there, because they look for a whole different situation, man.
Oh man, I wouldn't
Yeah.
dare. I would not dare want to be in a dating phase right now. Like in this generation, a dating phase. Oh my God. I would be horrified, to tell you the truth. As ratchet as I was when I was in the world, man, I would be terribly horrified right now if I had to be in a dating phase right now. And so when I mentioned that, also I would like to say also, I love how, all right, so we talk about scripture sometimes here. So when we talk about the fact that God said it's not good for man to be alone. And so when we look at that now in this stage, I want you guys to give me a reality check. Give the fellas that's watching, the fellas that's gonna jump on this later, give the fellas right now a thought. What would it look like alone?
I mean, alone, but here's the thing, brother. You could be alone and survive and prosper. A woman is not necessarily, it's not a necessity. Paul was alone. Jesus was alone.
Mm-hmm.
So a man could do it by himself. But a woman could also bring those benefits to you. But the message I don't want to convey out here is that you should run and jump into something just for the sake of, because you don't want to be alone.
See, I think we established that from the beginning, though. That's when
the danger jump in.
Yeah, I think we established that.
But why I'm stressing on this, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Because even to the guys that's single, even to the guys that may not be out here dating, take your time.
Right.
Don't be in a hurry. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just because you feel that, okay, yeah, it ain't good for man to be alone, and okay, then you just jump into something for the hell of jumping in it because you don't want to be alone.
Right.
That's what you don't
Okay.
want.
All right. So now,
Now,
okay, let's go back to that question again. Let me reword it so we can get this a
yeah,
real clear
reword that.
question. At the age that you are at now,
Right?
what would it look like to be alone?
Oh, but it'd be tough out here, man.
That's what I want to
Yeah.
get. That's the
It,
picture I
it,
want to
it
paint
would be
right now.
it would
Because
be tough.
I said that's the picture I want to paint right now. Because here's the thing. We know that we don't necessarily, especially when you're young, you have to be smart. And I think we established that in one of the podcasts about how we should take our time, you know what I'm saying, and make sure you have the right person. But then I think the big picture is we waste a lot of time just exploring. We waste a lot of time exploring. We waste a lot of time with people that we know, or some people don't even really know that this ain't good for. It's not going to be a good situation for them, and that's not the right person because they've never really been given the wisdom to really look what to look for. So, in the process of this, we also have individuals who believe that they want to play the field forever. And so they get lost thinking that that young man is going to be around forever. You're going to be that young you is going to be around forever. And so waiting until they get up into age before ever connecting with someone or trying to connect with someone. And so what does that picture look like? You know what I'm saying? What does that picture look like? Because I believe we should be wise about who we decide to be with. But I also believe we should be wise about the time,
Right.
because that's very important.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100% that maturity plays a whole lot into it. Like, as me, as a younger man out here, hanging out in the nightclubs every night, meeting different women, and then because of status and money, it was no shortage of meeting women.
Right.
But were they quality women? You know,
Right.
like my dad told me the template was, does she compare to your mother?
Mm-hmm.
When you put her next to your mother, does she compare?
Right.
And a lot of people you meet in those type of environments, and their reason for wanting to be around you and with you is not good. So now I'm gonna jump to what you said about being an older man and being alone. And you see a lot of couples and stuff separate later in life and going through a transition. And that's why I go back to say all the good people are gone at this stage. So I just feel unless you meet a widow or something, somebody who lost a spouse, a good person that lost a good spouse, well, at this age in the game, all the good people taken up. And if you meet somebody that's single at this stage in the game, you got to ask your question. The first question is why.
Right, right.
And then you have
Right.
to go back. So then, but most of them, they're gonna tell you that this other person was terrible and blah 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 blah.
Right.
But I think even with that, bro, you got to take your time, take your time, and take your time to get to know who they really are. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me just dive in on this. I'll tell you, for me,
Mm-hmm.
at this stage in the game, as far as how age, being much older now, and in living, I couldn't imagine having to be without anyone, like literally not be married or not have someone who I've been with for a long time now, I've known, grown to age with. I believe, man, it's almost it's a scary thing to be without a companion that you know, a person that you know. And so my thought process is Like, man, at this point where when the body starts getting to that point of aching, and you start seeing those couples who are elderly and they're the only ones they got to push each other around in those wheelchairs, and they're the only ones they got to help each other in and out of bathtubs, and you know what I mean, all these different things, man. I have to say, man, when I think about how that statement was made, it's not good for man to be alone, and he was given to help me. I believe, man, that is the perfect picture of what we really should have. That's the perfect
Mhm.
picture of statement. Like, of course, in youth, in youth you have strength, you have all these things, man. You can pretty much choose from the letter. You can choose what woman you want. How many women you want. You can run the game. You can do all kind of stuff in youth. You know what I'm saying? But as we get older, we start to realize, man, you're not as strong as you used to be. You're not as vibrant as you used to be. And the body isn't as well as, it's just a whole lot of factors that we realize that come
Mhm.
into as we get older. And we really start to see the quality. And this is the sad part, because truthfully, this should not be the stage of life where you find the quality of having a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like the quality of having a companion or a help me. I believe we're helpers one to another in a relationship, but I definitely believe, for me, it's very necessary. And like I know some of the fellas that's watching tonight. They probably, and by the way, you guys notice that since we've been saying some good things about having a good woman, we haven't had a lot of trash tonight from the ladies. Nobody's talking trash to us.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
what happened? What happened,
no,
Rashad?
no
Well,
comments from the lady. None.
The ladies are just, I mean, they don't even give us no props when we say some good stuff tonight, fellas. Y'all notice
wow,
that? Oh,
wow.
man, boy, they quiet on us. Wait a minute.
We chill.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I see
We
now.
chill.
Let's
We
look
Hey,
at that.
chill. We
We
chill.
chilling tonight. Oh, boy.
yeah,
So now we see
this,
how the
this
game
is
is
the Mother's
played.
Day. This is the
Mm-hmm.
This is the Mother's Day. What's
Mother's Day podcast. We love y'all.
Wait. Somebody said they have something to say, but they just held it back. Okay. All right. Okay. Uh, this is the Mother's Day tribute.
Yeah,
The Mother's Day edition.
yeah, it is.
Uh, yeah. We having mercy on the ladies tonight. Um,
Mhm.
but fellas, yeah, we I understand that this is real talk though, because I think young men really don't get the opportunity to hear this type of real talk. I think a lot of times young men are excited with information that points to them being centerpiece, and excludes what God really put in position for us as human beings. Knowing that, a lot of people get caught up and lost in the fact that the statement, it's not good for man to be alone. That was not about a gender. That was about a species. This was like you had animals, then you had man. And that was not about just the gender male, but that was the both male and female statement. That statement was about male and female. It wasn't about, and you see that often in the scripture when he talks about man, it wasn't just about male every time. And I think people get that confused. But it's truthfully the fact that it's not, it's better. I believe one of the scriptures actually said that when two lie together, they can keep each other warm, and that is a centerpiece. And I don't know if y'all fellas realize this or not. My married men, I know y'all realize this because I realize it. Boy, men, our bodies do not heat up much as we get older, and laying together with your wife, you find a lot of warmth. when you need one. Come on, fellas, real
Yeah,
talk.
that's true.
So when we look at this, it's not good for men to be alone. We talking about seriously. We should be looking. If you desire to create, if you desire to date, if you desire, you should be looking for someone of quality, someone who actually can add to you and not take away from you, and someone that's not wasting your time. Fellas, women are not the only ones who have their time wasted. It's a lot of fellas that have their time wasted as well. It's a lot of fellas out there who have been dating purposely, hoping to find a good woman, but could not. They found game also. So we have to remember that as well. I don't want to just throw the curveball and make it seem like only the fellas waste somebody's time. And it's really true that even fellas get their time wasted as well. So I wanted to really emphasize on what do we look for? I know, Rashad, I know you said, you mentioned, a little bit earlier about, people not changing you, or people that's coming in that's not coming just to change things. But give me some more things that we should be looking for. What should we? And ladies, how about you guys help us out? Ladies know women better than men do. What should men be looking for in a woman? What would you tell your son to look for? Come on, talk to me. Guys, what about it?
I'm gonna teach my son different, man, because
so
one thing I was looking for was sex. I was just looking for sex. Just, I mean, I wasn't trying to look for nothing. I want to be by myself. I was in my crib, and that was it. But I'm.
So what you gonna tell your son? What would you tell your son now? What would you tell him? Don't look for sex.
A lot of things we've been talking about. As far as sex now,
what would you tell him? Don't look for sex. That's what you're telling him.
Yeah.
But what else would you tell him? What else?
I tell him right now, from the beginning, I start giving them a little more nurture right now, as far as letting them know, look, focus on college. What do you want to be in life? I said, but women.
When you look for that woman, what do you look for? What do you tell them? What do you tell them when you look for that woman? What do you tell them when you look for?
Well, I definitely don't tell them to look for a woman that reminds of their mom. Definitely don't.
And with the template, it's not that. It's not how you putting it in perspective of that template about telling a son to find a woman as good as their mother, because everything that the way your son see her is gonna be totally different than how you see her, bro.
That's true.
Oh, I know that. Oh, yeah, I know that. I know that.
Do what you gotta do. What you gotta focus on. He see her in a totally different light.
Mm-hmm. Right now,
all the faults that you see in her, he ain't gonna,
But listen, Rashad. Right now, I've seen it played 3 times. Right now, but as they get a little older, they'll start seeing her for who she is. Trust me.
But
they're seeing it now.
Wait a minute. It seems like I'm finding some tension here. Hold on a minute, Rashad. Hold on. It seems like we've hit a chord here. Like we found some tension here. So you seem to be a brother that has had some experience in the area of what the topic is really about. What.
Keep living.
What was brought to the table? What wasn't brought to the table? And now here goes that question we're asking. Like, so what are you going to tell? You can't just tell him. Okay, I understand what Rashad is saying. So basically, you can't just tell him not to look for what your mom is like, because of course he's going to see somebody different right now because the relationship is different between child and mom than you and mom. So the question now, so moving forward, what do you tell him about the woman that he meets? What do you tell him? What wasn't brought to the table for you? What didn't get added to your life? What was taken from your life? So what do you tell him that helps him to make a good decision, not based on his mom being the centerpiece in conversation?
Maryland.
but the woman that he meets? What are you gonna tell him? What would you tell him?
Man, let me tell you, listen, this is so hard, bro. Especially when you get to my age and you haven't been through a whole lot of stuff. Because my boys, they're not living with me. They live with their mom. Their mom is dating different people. And they actually watching these different people that she dates. And I know I talk to them, not about, I don't care what she does, but when they tell me certain things, I'm like, wow. And I don't bash her. It's just that I'm looking at this like, wow, this gonna be a little hard right here, you know. So what I stress to them is about, you know, don't focus on focus on your education, you know, later on as time goes. Like we had a little discussion this weekend, and it got to the point where a little bit was going to us talk about sex, but it's like I want to wait until one of my sons is 12. So I kind of want to wait till like next year, you know, to kind of like break some stuff down to him, like really
So what
break
will you
it
tell
down.
him when he hits that part? I
can't really
What is he
because they're
gonna
so
be
young.
looking
I
for?
can't really
Okay, let me put it this way. He comes to you and he says, Dad, I want to start dating. I'm at the age now. Okay, we're gonna look forward. We're gonna look at fast forward now. I'm at the age now where, you know, I've talked to a few girls, but what I don't want to waste my time. What should I be looking for in a woman? What should I be looking for?
you know one of the things that hit me that before that I must say that I would tell him this. Somehow within all this, she don't have to be going to church and so forth, but if she says something within the facts that she feared God and talks about God a lot in her conversations, that's good for me, because that let me know that there's something that, you know, she has some sort of a relationship with God, you know, and that right there to me is a good start, you know. As far as the other stuff, I can't really get into that right now, because it's just so much they're gonna experience, man. It's hard. I can tell them one thing and they're gonna see another. You
That's
know,
good.
so
That's good. It's good. That's a good answer. I mean, Rashad, talk to me, brother. I know you got something. I see Marilyn said, "Take it slow, and if she is Spanish, run." Marilyn said, "Take it slow, and if she is Spanish, run."
run.
Just kidding. She said, "Just kidding." Go ahead, Rashad.
Well, tell Marilyn, my wife Spanish, and I love her to death.
Yeah. What would you tell your son?
You know, I think I got to go back here, Cam. I got to go back here.
Mm-hmm.
And brother, one thing I've learned, I got kids that's older than yours from previous relationships. Don't talk about their mama, dog. They gonna bring it back up to you later on. See, they ain't saying that to you right now.
I don't talk bad about her.
Just take my advice, bro. Just hear me out. Even though they shake their head and smile and Google with you right now, when he get to be a grown ass man, he gonna bring it back up to you. See, right now, that's why I just, whatever their mama do, I'm gonna give you some advice. I got older kids. Just let it be. Don't talk.
Yeah, you miss what I said though. I don't talk bad.
Just deal with the
kids.
I
know, but I don't talk bad about their mom too.
Yeah, so I mean,
I don't talk bad.
Their mama dating and all that. Leave that alone. Don't even go there, bro.
No. You didn't hear me. I don't ask them.
Words you're not gonna win.
Right,
So,
but I don't ask them. I don't ask them stuff like that.
I want to drop that little knowledge on you, bro. I just want to drop knowledge on you.
Yeah.
So
they would tell me things.
Yeah.
You know, but I just tell them to respect that mom, respect that person that's older in there. I just didn't get into all that just now, but I don't talk now. I don't never go to that danger zone right there, because I already know. But like I said, they're living in there, and as they get older, they're gonna see her for who she is.
They get
Trust me.
But you should hope that she get better or whatever it is.
No. I pray for all of that.
At the end of the day, bro, that's the mother of those kids. Yeah. So you want her to get better. You want her to prosper. You want to see better for her because at the end of the day, she's still teaching them. They live with her and all those things. I know
Yeah.
whatever angst you may have against her, whatever happened in the past, that stuff you gotta let it go, bro. Because the better she is, the better for your kids are. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm just telling you from my experience, been there, done that. It's not beneficial for what you want to see in the outcome of your kids, bro. But I'm gonna go back to let's get back on topic here. Let's get back on the topic. Okay, so what you looking for in a woman? Man, you looking for somebody who can be who you can build with. You looking for somebody who has a dream. You're looking for somebody who can inspire you. Because I truly believe that behind every great man is a great woman. And that is really that woman does not have to be their love or their wife. It could be a mama or a grandmama or an aunt or a friend. That's a woman, but it's something that a woman can add to you that can inspire a man to do great things. So the women that are in your life gonna play a crucial role in your life, in your development. You know what
You
I'm
know,
saying?
that's
So
true. That's true. And I'll tell you something. It's a big robbery. It's a major, major robbery in this world that we use the gender war between male and female to where we don't want to give respect or credit where credit really is due. Um, and so a lot of times men will discount the actual component of a woman and what she brings to the table to help you prosper and flourish as a man in the fullness of it. So a lot of times what happens, we'll try to have all of that kept to ourselves as if though we're made men, so to speak.
hey bro,
We did it all on ourselves, so to speak. And that's been a big time robbery thing that we've done to ourselves throughout life. Man, women, if you have a good woman, I don't believe there's anything that can stop you in life. I
yeah,
don't believe that I believe anything you set your mind to do, you can do it. You'll accomplish it if you got a great woman with you.
oh yeah.
I just believe that. Go
And
ahead.
hey bro, I want to say this, man. And you could take most black families, most Hispanic families, the women have played a major role in the development of these men and women. The men is the ones who've been slacking over the years. That's the
Yeah.
reason why we're having this podcast to uplift men to take
Right.
us to another level. But
Right.
what a whole lot of us wouldn't be here right now for some mamas and some grandmamas and some
Right.
aunties.
Right.
You know what
We
I'm saying?
here's a problem. Here's a problem. And let's just be real. One of one of the things when God made man, right? He said it was what? Good, right?
Yeah,
But it was what also added to that? It was very good, right?
yeah, very good.
Really good thing, right? Watch. One of the things that has defeated us in our community is our inability to have one woman and to actually dedicate ourselves to her. And so, the reason we've been absent, the reason why a great deal of that has been because we don't want to have the responsibility commitment to the home in one place. And so also I know drugs took a part of a lot of stuff in the past. I understand that. But it was the pleasures of life that men are not able to handle, have not been able to handle, have not been able to get under control. And so us not being able to commit, if you talk to a lot of our young men, like even today, commitment is one of the biggest fears that they have. Not just in the relationships with a woman, but in life, period. Commitment to a job, commitment to education, commitment to anything. You know, and it's like you're gonna give your time to something in life, whether you do it constructively and have a focus point, or you do it by wasting time. One way or another, you're gonna commit to something somewhere. You're gonna commit to one or the other. But because we have been absent and we have not taken advantage, now I'm not saying this from a bad standpoint, but from a good standpoint, because we have not taken advantage of the good that is in our home, our wife, our woman that we have. We have not taken what she has to bring to the table. We have not been able to utilize what she has in her head, the brain that she has. Because of that, it has caused us to go lacking. And so even in our homes, we've been lacking because we have not yet learned how to tap into the mate that we have. Okay, how do I do this? Okay, so why am I saying that, and how do we do it? There has not been a point. There's some issues that we have with being the head, to where you can't listen to anyone else. Everyone else has to listen to us. It's that issue of knowing everything, the issue of needing to have the leadership role. I've learned more than anything, man. Look, me being the head of my house has very little with me commanding anything. It has more to do with the respect that my wife gives me as the head, and that respect don't come from a standpoint of demanding. That comes from a standpoint of she wants to yield that respect because of how I treat her. You know, so when we look at it, man, you're absolutely right, Rashad, when we talk about this, because our communities have been built by women a great deal. You
Yes.
know, a great deal. And a lot of the stuff that the little bit that we've held on to has only been held on to because they haven't given up to a great degree. Now, I do want to say this. I think that there's the issue that comes in the picture, whereas just because men have been absent in some places, that there's no man able to now come into position and take his rightful places. I don't believe in that portion. I
Nah,
believe I
nah.
believe that we should always keep the same respect that should be given and rendered. But at the same time, man, we do have to come to a point where we realize, look, man, we can only do better with a good woman by our side. And if you got a good woman, then you got to learn how to actually treat her and actually interact and lead together, and take a hold of what little bit of the community that we still do have.
Now,
Go ahead,
bro.
Rashad.
Okay. Now, understandably, we understand that the women have played a strong part,
Right,
and my challenge as a man is to step it up and be the man that God called me to be.
right,
And that's my challenge to all the brothers out there, is to step it up. You
right,
know, no more absent fathers. You know, no more of the abuse. It's no more of the mental, physical, emotional abuse.
right,
You know, just no more of not caring, not having children here and there, and not
right,
being the man that you call to be.
right,
So that's my main purpose. You know, I'm trying to build on self-improvement and uplift other brothers to do the same thing, to stand up to the call. Stand
right,
up to the call. You know what
right,
I'm saying? Because most of these kids, especially when you're dealing with kids, they didn't ask to come here.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And I think that every man has a responsibility to raise his children and to be a
right,
part of their life, and be a very present part of their life. And
right,
paying child support doesn't make you a father.
right,
It don't.
right.
It takes time,
That's the time.
standing. You know, and it takes a commitment to be a father at any cost. And I just think that, you know, my main reason for coming on here every week is to make the next man better from what the things I've learned, to
Yeah,
the younger man to make him a better husband, a better father, a better brother, a better uncle, a better grandfather. And I think that we have to work on us.
Right.
Yeah, women got their faults. They got to, everybody got their stuff to work on. But I think if we focus working on us, the rest of them pieces gonna fall into place, man.
Right.
And,
And
that's what
that's
I want about finding the right woman, bro. If guys are spending their time and focus and work on themselves, the right woman gonna come.
right.
The right woman gonna come.
But even more so, let me add to that. Let me just add to that. If you take time and work on yourself, a lot of women gonna come. Now here's the key. When you have taken out the time, when you've taken out the time to work on self, you have a different respect level for self.
Oh yeah.
No matter how many women come, you won't entertain every woman that comes because you're gonna know your worth. See, the problem with our community, our men don't know their worth. If our men knew their worth, they would not have 2, 3, 4, 5 women all over time. They would not have children all over the place if our men knew their worth. And I'm not talking about children from relationships that they were married before and things like that. I'm talking about children just frivolously, like, just dropping seed all over the place. You just sleeping with everything walking. I'm talking about when you know your worth, man, you have a different look. When you see women, you're not going to choose just any woman just because she's fine, just because she looks cute.
Exactly.
When she opens her mouth, her mind is going to be speaking when she opens her mouth. And you're going to judge her according to what she's saying and how she carries herself, how she dresses. Everything is going to be going into your mind when you really respect self. And that's the key, man. I think one thing that I love to say, ignorance is done perfectly. It is taught from childhood up. You are taught how to be an ignorant person. And so enough of our men have been taught how to be ignorant when it comes to relationships, women, and family. We've been taught it. We're taught how to run when somebody gets pregnant. We're taught how not to stay in a relationship as soon as somebody says something you don't like. You just leave the family. We're taught that. We're taught it. And we're taught it like it's a badge, like it's something we should really wear on our collar, like we should be proud of this mentality. Even having a lot of different women, we're taught it. So at the end of the day, it comes a point in time. This show is he's able. The truth of it is he's able to do better. And we as men are able to do better. And on that note, I have to do this right quick, guys, because it is a pun. I have to throw it. Hey, it's Thomas Ware here. Go pick up your copy of Reinvention of the Black Man, Declaration of Dependence. It's available on Amazon and Walmart, so get your copy today. And as you see, the subtitle on that is the Declaration of Dependence. I know Beyonce came out with a song that said they're independent women. Here's the point of dependence. We have a declaration that we depend on, and we have to depend on our women to be in our lives so that we can be the best version of who we're called to be as leaders, as men. When you have great women, we are depending on great women to be in our lives. And that is just the realest it could possibly be. I don't think any of us on this show right now believes anything different. When you have a great woman in your life, you can achieve great things. Where you lack at, she can fill in. Where she's lacking at, you can fill in. But the key is, it's not just you. You're not alone. So when you lack, you're just left out. You're left in the cold with nobody to help. We need each other. And as men, speaking now from men to men, fellas, we need each other also to become better, to hold each other responsible, and to challenge each other, to hold each other to be accountable for what is needed in our community as better men. Fellas, one of you had something that you'd like to add?
Nah, I
Well,
think we said it all tonight, brother.
well, that's
I
what I would
see
tell my
Marilyn.
son.
Say it again.
That's why I would tell my kids. That's it right there.
That's it
Know
right
your
there.
worth. Know your worth.
Know your
Yeah.
worth, man. I'm telling you,
Oh yeah.
man.
Know
Think
your
about this.
worth.
All right, let's see it this way. All right, let's rewind time, fellas. What the wise us know now, the wise us, the version of us right now versus what we knew when we were young. Could you imagine all of the gifts, talent, smarts, everything that you have, right? That you even had then? Could you imagine if you actually thought of it as being worth more? How many of the women that you interacted with, laid down with, even the game that we used to, not just about women, just even street life, period. How much of that would not be a part of your history if you knew your worth back then, like you know it now? Think about that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely. You know, you make a whole lot of different changes and choices, and that have come with just plain maturity, knowing about who you are, what you stand for, what you don't stand for. So most definitely, you know, definitely would have made a lot of different changes. But the beautiful thing about life is that you still could do it today. It ain't too late.
still get a chance now. It's
Right?
not too late. Real talk. Real
Right?
talk. And that's what this is all about, man. We can do it. We can do it together. I see a lot of people are online tonight, and not a lot of people are talking, but I see Arlene did add something in there, respect the way she carries herself, the way she talks and moves, definitely a relationship with God. Absolutely. And I see Marilyn said, definitely can't settle for less. The partner you have walking beside you resembles you as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think one of the scriptures actually says, "What man hates his own flesh?" Man, that's a lot. That's real deep to think
Yeah.
about right there. That's a deep thought right there. Um, Take it slow. As I read that one already. my brother, Maryland. Just so you know, my brother Rashad, his wife is Hispanic, and they've been together for a very, very long time. Uh, I see that Tiffany jumped in. She was just giving kudos to Maryland's statement. Absolutely. Listen, it was a great show tonight, fellas. I really appreciate all of the input that you guys gave tonight. And everybody that's watching, share this with somebody as well. A lot of people did not get a chance to respond, but I'm sure that this conversation has helped a lot of people. I think our fellas, the guys with the guys out there in the world would really benefit from hearing this conversation a great deal. The young men would also benefit from it. So guys, please, love you too, Tiff. So guys, please take out a moment and share. Also, send people over to the YouTube as well, and jump on our YouTube. He has Able Podcast with Thomas Ware and friends. Rashad Brown, Cameron Kings, fellas. This has been a good night. Thanks so much for jumping in, Rashad. Get strength, brother. Get some rest. Feel better, man. Um, we love with all our heart. Yeah, I know. She said we are a bit crazy, but we love with all our heart. I know that's right. You guys, women really do put the cap on the term "love me to death" right along with Jesus. But women, when you say it, it's a little bit Lifetime movie-ish. Okay, all right, guys. Have a great night. Be blessed. I hope you guys have a good one. And we talk again soon. Be blessed. And once again, as we end up out of here.
Happy belated Mother's Day.